October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Domestic violence is a pattern of behavior that involves physical, emotional, sexual, or even financial abuse by one person against another in a domestic setting, such as a marriage, dating relationships, or cohabitation. According to the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, on average, nearly 20 people per minute are physically abused by an intimate partner in the United States. During 1 year, this equates to more than 10 million women and men. It is also estimated that 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men have been victims of domestic violence by an intimate partner within their lifetime. Locally, domestic violence and domestic peace disturbances accounted for 14,000 calls for service to the Bakersfield Police Department. Unfortunately, studies show that true cases of domestic violence occurring in our city are more than what is reported to us. The abuser will track all the victim's time, constantly accuse the victim of being unfaithful, discourages the victim's relationships with family and friends, prevents the victim from working or attending school, criticizes the victim for little things, controls all finances and forces the victim to account in detail for what they spend, humiliates the victim in front of others, destroys the victim's personal property or sentimental items, hits, punches, slaps, kicks, or bites the victim, uses or threatens to use a weapon against the victim, threatens to hurt the victim or the victim's children. Domestic violence predictably follows 3 phases. In phase 1, the tension builds. The offender belittles and criticizes the victims until he or she is emotionally broken. In phase 2, the tension peaks and the offender attacks. This acute battering incident releases the tension and leads into phase 3. Phase 3 is marked by kind, contrite, and loving behavior. Commonly, the offender may promise that the assaults will never happen again. Without treatment, this is seldomly true. It is usually only a matter of time before phase 1 kicks in all over again. First and foremost, it is important for the person to get away from the aggressor. That person should seek the assistance of a friend or a neighbor. In the event of domestic violence, immediate police assistance should be requested. A victim of domestic violence should never try to go at it alone. The usual profile of an abusive person is aggressive, dominant personality that is both manipulative and controlling. The victim of domestic violence is often very vulnerable and can be persuaded from attempting to obtain assistance. Outside assistance is often essential in protecting a victim of domestic violence. A victim of domestic violence should never shy away from requesting assistance because of a perceived stigma attached to being a victim of domestic violence. Whatever their background, if they have been abused, they should get assistance with a domestic violence situation immediately for their own health and safety. The Bakersfield Police Department offers help to all victims of domestic violence. Officers and detectives are willing to help victims obtain restraining orders or any assistance that is needed. The Alliance Against Family Violence and Sexual Assault is another resource that is available. It's important to remember that domestic violence can happen to anyone, both men and women, and it knows no boundaries. Remember that there are people who care about you and are concerned for your safety and the safety of your children. We want to help you remain safe and free from abuse.